New Haven, also under an evacuation order tonight.
That's right, and joining us now with more on what the city's working on in the hours before the storm is Mayor John DeStefano. Mayor, thanks for coming in. You've evacuated several sections of the city now, and I'm sure people understand you've got to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. What are the worst case scenarios that you're looking at?
The surge, that's what's different. Irene was about 5 feet. This is predicting 5 to 10 feet. Most of the folks, when I walk through the neighborhoods this afternoon, have been there before. They've gone through this fire drill with us before. We encourage them to leave, but just do common sense things and prepare for it. So we're organized for it, and we'll take it and we'll be prepared.
It can be tough to get people out of their homes. It's kind of their sanctuary. Tough to convince them sometimes to leave.
Yeah, well, they keep talking about looting. I said we're not going to have looting in the city. It'll really be fine. There'll be more public safety officers out in these neighborhoods in Fairhaven, Morris Cove, and City Point. Won't be so much a problem. The surge is the big deal. During Irene, that water rushed in and then it rushed out. East Haven got hit hard because of the direction of the wind. So in our case, Morris Cove didn't, but City Point did. So a lot will depend on the wind. Again, the gusts are Irene-like gusts. The rain isn't as much, but it's the surge and how long it holds out there. And that's what will cause this problem. But that said, the surge is okay. It shouldn't hurt anybody. We'll manage it. And then the pain is just the cleanup afterwards if we have a lot of trees go down and tangled up in the power lines.
Now, you were one of the first shoreline mayors to call off school, not only tomorrow but Tuesday as well. That really was kind of a no-brainer, wasn't it?
We were just thinking in New Haven, what happens is because we have sewers and catch basins, they're going to get clogged up Monday and Tuesday. So we're going to have intersections underwater. And what you'll see around New Haven is you'll see Union Station go underwater. You'll see the area by the police station. Route 34 will go underwater. Quinnipiac, Middletown Avenue. So we'll actually have roads from the water that'll become impassable, which is a problem for getting school buses. Tomorrow more would have been home, would have been more the problem. And then what we just deal with is the trees. And our policies on trees work with UI, who did a great job with us during Irene, to get power on at the hospitals, the big residential buildings in the city. And meantime, we just clear where there's no wires, we just clear the trees to the side and we'll come back and get them later.
You know, again, facing what could be a long power outage, how will New Haven approach this differently, having these last two big storms under our belt? What do we do better as a city now, and what have we learned from those last two?
In Irene, the first day with UI, we had some issues, and Jim Torgerson and I the president of UI, sat down that night, and we came up with a protocol. So basically what we do is we put the police and fire department out with the UI crews to determine what's going on with live wires, what's live, what's not live, what can we cut down and what can we remove. So day two in Irene going forward, we had pretty great cooperation with UI, and it worked very well. So we're set to do that again. So it's really two storms we're looking at. The surge, and if we have to get in boats and go get people if that's the case, and what property damage it does. Really, the second storm is going to be Tuesday morning when we all wake up in our homes and see, do we have power, do we not have power, and how broad is it, and what can the crews handle? So, well,
you hear UI in these briefings with the governor, they're going to de-energize if they take flooding. That means they're going to turn it off if they have to, and the outages could be more widespread this time than Irene.
Could be, but I think we're also balancing expectations given what happened last year, particularly with one of the utility companies who overpromised outcomes, and so I just think they're managing expectations. But they know what they're doing, and so we're set to go, and we're ready for it.
Well, listen, we sure appreciate your time, New Haven Mayor John DeStefano. Hopefully, we'll get
good seeing you, fellas.
Smoothly
good luck,
as we
sir.
can.
We'll keep the power on here.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor.